The soft glow of the ring light cast a warm halo around Maya's face as she leaned toward her phone camera, her smile genuine and unforced. Behind her, a carefully curated but authentically messy workspace told its own story. Half-finished watercolor paintings, well-loved books, thriving succulents, and a chipped mug reading, "Create Anyway." "Hey everyone, it's Maya," she began, her voice carrying warmth and vulnerability that had drawn her modest but devoted following of 17,000. "Today I wanted to share something different. I've been struggling with creative burnout, and I thought, maybe some of you feel the same way?" She tucked a strand of dark hair behind her ear, a nervous habit her followers recognized. Her brown eyes reflected the screen's light as she spoke honestly about blank canvases that had mocked her, half-written blog posts, the overwhelming pressure to constantly produce content that was both authentic and algorithm-friendly. "I think sometimes we forget that it's okay to just exist," Maya continued. "Not every moment needs to be documented, optimized, or hashtagged. Sometimes creativity needs silence, space to breathe." She paused, and in that pause, her followers felt seen. Not performed for, not sold to, just seen. "I'm going to take a few days off to refill my creative well. Be kind to yourselves, okay? You're doing better than you think." This kind of content, raw, unfiltered, admitting struggle, always made her nervous. It didn't fit the carefully curated aesthetic dominating social media, but that was exactly why her followers loved her. Maya's phone buzzed immediately, a text from Vanessa. "OMG, babe, that video! Loudly crying 2 hearts. So real. You're literally the most authentic person I know. Coffee tomorrow?" Maya smiled. Vanessa, her best friend of 3 years, the person who'd been there through her messy breakup, quarter-life crisis, and countless late-night brainstorming sessions. "Always. 10 a.m. at the grind? Perfect. Love you. 2 hearts." What Maya didn't know was that across town, Vanessa stared at that same video with an expression that wasn't warm at all. Her perfectly manicured nails tapped against her phone screen with increasing irritation. 17,000 followers. When they'd started together, they'd both had barely 1,000. Vanessa had been the one with the strategic mind, understanding analytics, grasping what made content pop. But Maya's authentic, slightly imperfect posts, the ones Vanessa had privately dismissed as amateur hour, had begun resonating. Her follower count grew steadily, organically. Brands started reaching out. Meanwhile, Vanessa's perfectly curated feed, the flawless flat lays, aspirational morning routines, expertly edited lifestyle shots, had plateaued at 12,000. No matter how many trending sounds she used, how many hashtags she researched, she couldn't break through. And it wasn't fair. Vanessa had done the work. She'd studied algorithms, invested in equipment, followed all the rules. Maya just existed online, posting messy thoughts and imperfect art, and people ate it up. The comments on Maya's video were already flooding in. "This is why I love you, Maya, so refreshing. The most authentic creator on this platform. Never change. Sparkles?" Authentic. That word again. A dark thought crystallized in Vanessa's mind, one she could no longer ignore. If Maya's authenticity was the problem, maybe it was time to expose just how authentic her best friend really was. The next morning at the grind, Maya arrived first, claiming their usual corner table. She was responding to comments when Vanessa swept in, impeccably put together in an oversized coat and designer bag, looking like she'd stepped off a street-style blog. "Babe," Vanessa air-kissed both cheeks before settling in. "You look exhausted. Creative burnout?" Maya laughed self-consciously. "That obvious?" "Only because I know you." Vanessa's usual oatmeal cortado appeared without ordering. "But seriously, that video? Chef's kiss. Your engagement must be insane." "It's been really nice," Maya admitted, showing her analytics. "People have been so supportive." "Don't second-guess yourself," Vanessa said sharply, then softened. "Vulnerability is your brand. It's what makes you, you." Something unreadable flickered in her tone. "Actually, I wanted to talk about a potential collab." Maya's eyes lit up. "Really?" "There's this skincare brand, Lumiere. Super luxury, very exclusive. They want micro-influencers, and I immediately thought of you. Vanessa scrolled through what appeared to be an official email. Product and payment. Great exposure for both of us. That sounds amazing, Maya breathed. Brand deals would help with rent. Just need your media kit and audience demographics. I'll send you the contact info. Vanessa's smile was warm, conspiratorial. We're going to crush this together. Maya didn't notice Vanessa's eyes flicking to her phone, or the screenshot she took of Maya's analytics when Maya turned away. She didn't see the calculation behind her friend's warm smile. After they parted, Maya felt energized, hopeful. She didn't check her email until evening. There was no message from Lumiere Skincare. Hey, did you send the wrong contact info? Maya texted. Oh, weird. Let me double check and resend. Might have gone to spam? It hadn't gone to spam, because it didn't exist. 3 days later, Maya's world began crumbling. It started with a DM from an account with no profile picture. Just wanted you to know that your friend has been talking about you behind your back. Check at Teaspill Daily's story. Maya's stomach dropped. At Teaspill Daily was an anonymous drama account that thrived on influencer gossip. Her fingers trembled as she navigated to it. The first slide, a screenshot of what appeared to be a private conversation. Vanessa's profile picture visible, though the name was cropped. The messages were damning. Honestly, Maya's whole authentic thing is so calculated. She spends hours crafting those vulnerable captions. She literally researches what emotions get the most engagement. It's all an act. The funniest part? She thinks people actually believe she's genuine. It's embarrassing. Maya's hands shook violently. This couldn't be real. Vanessa wouldn't. The next slide made her blood run cold. A behind-the-scenes photo Maya had taken herself. Her messy workspace. Except now it had a caption. She literally stages her. Messy authenticity. Everything is calculated. She's the most fake person I know. The third slide, Maya's analytics from their coffee date, the screenshot Vanessa had secretly taken, with text claiming Maya had bought followers and manipulated engagement. The comments flooded in. I knew something was off. Too perfect to be real. Another fake, authentic influencer exposed. Face with rolling eyes. The staged mess thing is actually genius manipulation. Her phone exploded with notifications, concerned followers, brutal messages calling her a fraud. Her carefully built community was turning on her in real time. Maya opened her text thread with Vanessa. Please tell me you're seeing this. Someone is trying to make it look like you said horrible things. We need to address this together. Read, no response. V, I'm freaking out. Please call me. Read, no response. Then Vanessa posted a news story. A perfectly staged restaurant shot, wine glass in hand, golden hour light. The caption. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. Wine sparkles. Hashtag no fake energy. Hashtag authenticity matters. The realization crashed over Maya in waves. This wasn't someone framing Vanessa. This was Vanessa. Her best friend had weaponized everything Maya had trusted her with. The DMs kept coming. You should be ashamed. I unfollowed. Can't support fake people. How many followers did you buy? Even worse, brands withdrawing collaboration offers, pausing discussions until things settle down. By nightfall, she'd lost 2,000 followers. Her comment sections became battlegrounds. Some loyal followers tried defending her, but were drowned out. Maya sat on her apartment floor, phone face down, unable to look anymore. The ring light in the corner felt like a monument to her naivete. She'd believed authenticity mattered, that genuine connection could exist online, that her friendship with Vanessa was real. She'd been wrong about all of it. The next morning, Maya woke to notifications that had exploded overnight. Another 1,000 followers gone. Then she saw what Vanessa had posted on her main feed. A gorgeous shot of Vanessa looking pensive in their usual cafe. Perfect lighting, vulnerable expression, impeccable aesthetic. The caption destroyed Maya. I've been struggling with whether to address this publicly, but I believe in transparency. Heartbreak. Over the past months, I've watched someone I considered close become consumed by online validation. When I discovered she'd been buying followers and manufacturing her authentic moments, I was devastated. I'm sharing this because we need to be critical of what we consume online. Authenticity has become performance, another thing to optimize for engagement. Choosing truth over friendship is painful, but necessary. Hashtag mental health matters, hashtag authenticity, hashtag speak your truth. 8,000 likes in 6 hours. Hundreds of supportive comments. You're so brave for speaking out, red heart. This is real authenticity. You did the right thing. Hands clapping. Verified accounts, bigger influencers, brand pages had liked and commented, validating this narrative, amplifying the lie. Maya tried drafting responses. This is not true. I have never, delete. I'm heartbroken that my friend would, delete. How could she respond? Vanessa had been strategic, calculated. She'd positioned herself as the reluctant truth-teller. Anything Maya said would look defensive, desperate. Her sister Zoe called. Maya, what the hell? Please tell me this isn't true. It's not. Maya's voice cracked. She's lying about all of it. Then say that. Post something. And say what? Maya's voice rose. Anything I post makes it worse. People have made up their minds. I'm the villain. So you're giving up? I don't know what winning looks like anymore. My entire platform was built on being real. Now that's evidence I'm fake. There's no coming back. After ending the call, Maya slid down her wall and sobbed. Everything she'd built, the community, creative outlet, budding career, obliterated in 48 hours by someone she'd trusted completely. The cruelest part? How easily people believed it, how quickly followers turned. She'd thought the relationships she'd built were real, but they'd been illusions. Parasocial relationships that evaporated when the narrative changed. Maybe Vanessa was right. Maybe authenticity online was just another brand. Maybe Maya had been performing all along without knowing it. She looked at her ring light. The thought of facing a camera again, trying to explain herself to an audience that had convicted her, felt impossible. She just wanted to disappear. Days blurred into darkness. Maya stopped checking her phone except for worried family texts. She closed her laptop, unplugged her ring light, let her plants wither. The hate intensified. Old posts were analyzed for, quote, evidence. A video essay used Maya as a case study in manipulation of micro-influencer authenticity. On day 5, there was persistent knocking. Maya, I know you're in there. I brought soup. I'm not leaving. Sarah, her pre-influencer friend who'd never understood social media's appeal. Maya opened the door. Sarah's eyes widened at her appearance. Unwashed hair, days-old pajamas, dark circles. Oh, honey, Sarah said softly, pulling her into a hug. Maya crumbled, sobbing. She destroyed me. Everything I built, it's all gone. Sarah held her tighter. People on the internet are cruel. But this isn't real, Maya. Your worth isn't determined by strangers. But my career... Screw your career, Sarah said firmly. If your career requires constant vulnerability to people who'll turn on you instantly, maybe it's not worth having. Sarah guided her to the couch, heated soup, started cleaning. When did you last eat real food? I don't know. Tuesday? It's Friday, Maya. Sarah made her eat, then said, You can't win on their battlefield. Vanessa knows how to manipulate algorithms, craft stories. If you fight using her tactics, you'll lose. So what do? Don't fight the narrative. She can't compete with actual authenticity, the real thing, not performed. I was being authentic. Were you? Sarah's question wasn't accusatory. Or were you being authentic in ways you knew would resonate? Sharing struggles that made you relatable but not uncomfortable. Being vulnerable in aesthetically pleasing ways? Maya opened her mouth to argue, then closed it. Sarah wasn't entirely wrong. There's a difference between sharing your truth and curating a version for public consumption. Sarah's gaze was gentle but unflinching. If you want to be online, do it differently. On your terms. Not for growth or engagement. Just because you have something real to say. That sounds nice in theory. The worst already happened. You've been destroyed online, canceled. You're at rock bottom. Sarah smiled slightly. Which means you're free. Nothing left to lose. No brand to protect. No algorithm to please. Rock bottom. Free. It didn't feel like freedom. But maybe Sarah had a point. I don't know if I can go back, Maya admitted. The thought of being vulnerable again. Then be vulnerable about this. About how it feels to be betrayed. The ugliness. Not the sanitized version. The real, messy, angry, hurt version. People don't want to see that. Some people don't, but the right people do. People who've been through it. Who know healing isn't linear or aesthetic. Sarah stood. Think about it. But first, shower. You smell like depression. Despite everything, Maya laughed. Maybe Sarah was right. Maybe the only way forward was complete honesty. Not curated. Not designed to be relatable. Just raw truth. But first, she really did need to shower. 2 weeks later, Maya finally opened Instagram again, after deactivating her account. She'd spent the time offline doing things without documenting them. Reading, cooking, walking, painting. Actually painting, not for content, but because creating without an audience felt like rediscovering herself. She'd also started therapy. Dr. Chen had admitted she had no idea what Instagram was and couldn't care less about influencer drama. What I care about, Dr. Chen said, is how this affected your sense of self, your ability to trust, your relationship with vulnerability. Over sessions, Maya untangled the web. How likes became addictive. How she'd unconsciously edited experiences through, will this make good content? How the line between her authentic self and online persona had blurred. What Vanessa did was cruel, Dr. Chen told her. But she exposed something fragile, your dependence on external validation. So this is my fault? Not fault, responsibility. You're not responsible for her actions. But you are responsible for how you move forward. Now, sitting at her laptop with Instagram open, Maya stared at the blank caption box beneath a photo she'd taken that morning. It wasn't a good photo by influencer standards. Harsh lighting, unflattering, her face bare, eyes shadowed by recent tears, messy bun, no aesthetic. She sat on her floor, surrounded by unpacked art supplies. In the background, the unplugged ring light, self-help books Sarah had brought, a half-dead succulent she was trying to revive. The photo was ugly, real, uncomfortable. Perfect. Maya took a deep breath and typed, I disappeared because I didn't know how to show up here anymore. You probably saw what happened. The accusations. The exposed truth about my manufactured authenticity. Here's my truth. I don't know how to prove I didn't buy followers. I can't prove authenticity, so I'm not going to try. Instead, I want to talk about what this taught me, how I'd gotten authenticity wrong. I thought it meant sharing struggles, being vulnerable, showing the try, real, behind curated. But I was still curating, still editing, still asking, will people relate? Before posting. Real authenticity is uncomfortable, doesn't photograph well, doesn't get brand deals or growth. It's messy, sometimes ugly, doesn't fit coherent narratives. Like this, I spent 2 weeks barely showering, ignored family calls, let all my plants die except one I'm desperately trying to save as some metaphor for recovery. Rage ate Oreos at 3 a.m. reading comments about what a terrible person I am. That's real, not inspiring, not hashtag Monday motivation, just human. I'm posting this not for forgiveness or vindication or to restart my career. I'm posting because I'm tired of performing, even performing, authentic vulnerability. To whoever orchestrated this, I hope it was worth it. To anyone who's been canceled, dragged, exposed, I see you. It's brutal. Healing doesn't look like a comeback montage. It looks like getting out of bed, taking a shower, answering one text, saving one dying plant. I don't know what comes next. Maybe nothing, but whatever it is, it's going to be actual authenticity, the uncomfortable kind. Maya, Her finger hovered over share. Every instinct screamed not to post it. Too raw, too defensive, too much. But maybe too much was the point. She pressed share, then closed her laptop and went to water her succulent. Maya didn't check the post for 6 hours. When she finally opened her phone, what she found made her hands shake. 847 likes. But more importantly, the comments were different. This is the most real thing I've ever read on this platform. I've been through something similar. The part about healing not being a montage hit me, thank you. I unfollowed during the drama. I'm sorry, I should have questioned more. Refollowed. I'm a therapist and showing this to clients who struggle with social media addiction. Been following since 2K, never doubted you. Red heart. My sister went through this last year. She tried defending herself and it made everything worse, sending this to her. There was still negativity. People calling her manipulative, playing victim. But they were drowned out by understanding. Her DMs flooded with stories. Hundreds sharing their own experiences with betrayal, cancel culture, performing for algorithms. Other small creators. Regular people with offline betrayals. One message caught her attention. Hi Maya, I'm a journalist working on a piece about the dark side of influencer culture and authenticity as performance. I'd love to talk. Keisha Okonkwo, digital culture reporter, The Signal. Maya stared. The Signal was well respected, known for nuanced cultural commentary, not clickbait. Before overthinking, she responded, I'm interested, let's talk. Over the next week, Maya had thoughtful conversations with Keisha about authenticity, parasocial relationships, platform economics, and the particular cruelty of public female friendship betrayals. What Vanessa did was personal, Keisha explained, but it was only possible because of how platforms are designed. They reward drama, incentivize takedowns, gamify human connection until betrayal becomes content. When Keisha's article published, it was titled, When Authenticity Becomes Performance, Inside the Micro-Influencer Betrayal That Exposes Platform Toxicity. It was thoughtful, well-researched, didn't sensationalize. It contextualized Maya's experience within broader conversations about social media's mental health impact, influence economics, and pressures on women to be both vulnerable and palatable. It went viral. Not in the messy drama way, but substantively, shared by mental health advocates, media literacy educators, journalists. It sparked conversations about content consumption and creator demands. Maya's account came back into consciousness, but with a different narrative. Her follower count climbed, but these were different followers. People who'd read the article, understood what she was trying to do, wanted something different from online experiences. Maya posted sporadically, never at optimal times or trending formats. She posted ugly stuff, therapy sessions that drained her, days she struggled to get out of bed, complicated feelings about Vanessa continuing to thrive. She posted about her dying succulent, ironically named Phoenix, documenting its slow recovery with the same attention she'd once given morning routines. She posted about the weird cognitive dissonance of rebuilding a platform while not caring about the platform anymore. People responded. Not everyone. She lost followers constantly who wanted inspiration or easy answers. But the ones who stayed were different. They engaged differently, shared their own messy truths. A community formed, but it wasn't like before. Smaller, messier, more honest. People shared actual struggles, not curated versions. They called each other out lovingly. They held space for complexity. 2 months after her original post, Maya received a DM that stopped her heart. Maya, it's Vanessa. Can we talk? Please. I need to explain. Maya stared at the message. Part of her wanted to block Vanessa immediately, but another part, the part Dr. Chen had been nurturing, was curious. Not about reconciliation, about understanding. I'm willing to hear what you have to say, but not in DMs, on a call, and I'm recording it. 3 dots appeared, appeared. Okay, tomorrow at 3? Fine. Maya sat at her kitchen table, recording app ready, surprisingly steady as she answered Vanessa's call. Hi. Vanessa's voice was smaller than Maya remembered. Hi. Long pause. I don't know where to start, Vanessa finally said. Truth is usually good. The sound of crying. I was jealous. It sounds so stupid, but I was so jealous. Everything came easily to you. Engagement, authentic connection, brand deals. I was working so hard, doing everything right, and nothing worked. Maya stayed silent. I told myself I was helping you by exposing your manufactured authenticity. But the truth is, you weren't manufacturing anything, you were being yourself. And I hated that it worked for you when it didn't for me. So you decided to destroy me. I decided to level the playing field, Vanessa said, justification creeping back. If people saw authenticity was just another brand strategy. But it backfired. It didn't backfire. You're more popular now. Maya laughed bitterly. Is that what you think this is about? Follower counts. You destroyed my mental health. Made me question every relationship. Weaponized vulnerability itself. And you think I won because I gained followers? Vanessa's voice broke. I'm sorry. I know that doesn't mean anything, but I am. I didn't think about what it would do to you. I saw numbers and narratives. Not you as a person. Competition, not a friend. Were you ever actually my friend? The pause told Maya everything. I don't think I've actually liked anyone in years, Vanessa admitted quietly. Everyone is content or competition. I don't know how to have a real friendship. Maya felt surprising sadness for Vanessa. Not forgiveness, but sadness for someone so consumed by performance they'd lost themselves. Why are you calling now? Because I'm losing everything. Brands are dropping me. Engagement is tanking. People see through the performance. And I realized, I don't know who I am without this. Without followers and likes and validation. I'm completely empty. There it was. Vanessa wasn't calling to apologize. She was calling because she was facing the same existential crisis she tried to force on Maya. I can't help you, Maya said firmly. I can't be your therapist or redemption arc. You need actual help, Vanessa, professional help. Because what you did? That's not normal jealousy. That's something deeper. I know. I'm starting therapy next week. Good. I hope it helps. Maya meant it. Not because she forgave Vanessa, but because she understood Vanessa was a victim of these toxic systems too. Just differently. Is there anything I can do to make this right? Tell the truth, publicly. Not performative apology, but actual honesty about what you did and why. Let people see the real ugliness. Stop pretending. Just be honest for once. I don't know if I can. Then we have nothing else to talk about. Maya's voice was steady. I've spent months learning actual authenticity. The uncomfortable kind that costs you followers and opportunities. If you're not willing to do that, you haven't changed. You're just looking for a new narrative to perform. Silence. Take care of yourself, Vanessa. Get help, but leave me out of it. Maya ended the call. Her hands shook now, adrenaline flooding. But underneath was something else. Closure. Not tidy closure. Real closure, where you accept some relationships are meant to end badly. She opened her notes app and typed a letter she'd never send. Dear Vanessa, I hope someday you find what you're actually looking for. I don't think it's followers or validation. I think it's to be seen, really seen, not performed for, just witnessed in full complexity. I hope you find that, but not with me, never with me again. Notch M. She saved the note and closed her phone. Phoenix the succulent was looking healthier, new growth emerging from what she'd thought was dead. Maya watered it carefully, then sat by the window watching the sunset without the urge to photograph it. This was enough, this quiet peace, no audience required. 3 months later, Maya spoke on a panel at a digital wellness conference, Authenticity in the Age of Performance. She'd almost said no. Being vulnerable on stage made her stomach turn. But Sarah convinced her. You have something real to say. People need to hear it. So Maya found herself on stage between a psychologist specializing in social media addiction and a former reality TV star who'd quit after a breakdown. The moderator posed the first question: "What do you think authenticity actually means?" Maya took a breath. Even now, the impulse to craft a perfect answer was there. She pushed past it. "Honestly, I'm still figuring it out. I thought I knew. I thought it meant showing behind the scenes, being vulnerable, being relatable. But I was still editing, still curating, still asking what version of truth would resonate most." She looked at the audience. Real authenticity is being willing to be misunderstood, sharing things that don't fit neat narratives, being complicated and contradictory, and sometimes unlikable, accepting that not everyone will connect with you. "But isn't that giving up on community?" another panelist asked. "Maybe, but there's a difference between being intentional and inauthentic. Intentional means choosing what to share based on your boundaries and values. Inauthentic means choosing based on what will perform well. What would you tell young creators starting out?" Maya considered carefully. Ask yourself why you're doing it. Really, why? If it's for external validation, you'll burn out or compromise yourself. If it's because you genuinely have something to share, something you'd create without an audience, maybe it's worth it. But know the cost. No platforms make you addicted to metrics. No authenticity can be weaponized. And decide if it's still worth it. A young woman in the audience raised her hand. "How did you forgive the person who did this?" The room went quiet. "I haven't," Maya said simply, "and I might never. Forgiveness isn't required for healing. Sometimes the most authentic thing is admitting some betrayals are unforgivable. You can move forward without forgiving. You can build something new without reconciling with what destroyed the old thing." After the panel, people approached with advice requests and stories. One woman took Maya's hand. "Thank you for giving me permission to quit Instagram. I've been feeling guilty, like I was giving up. But you're right. It's not giving up. It's choosing yourself." That night, Maya posted about the conference. Not polished professional shots, just a selfie in her hotel room, looking exhausted, makeup smudged, hair messy. Spoke at a conference about authenticity. Felt like a fraud the whole time, because I'm still figuring it out, still catching myself crafting responses for impact, still checking follower count more than I'd like. Progress isn't linear. Healing isn't a brand. Authenticity is a practice, not a destination. Also, hotel pillows are weird and I miss my cat. That's it. That's the post. Less engagement than her polished content used to get, but the comments were different, deeper, more real, more human. For the first time since everything fell apart, Maya felt something close to peace. 6 months after Vanessa's call, Maya opened Instagram to find an unexpected post. Vanessa had posted. The photo was stark. No makeup, bad lighting, sitting on what looked like a therapist's couch. Eyes red from crying. She looked human. The caption was long. "I need to tell the truth. 6 months ago, I orchestrated a campaign to destroy someone I called a friend. I leaked fake screenshots, spread lies, manipulated a narrative to make her look like a fraud. Why? Because I was jealous. Because her authenticity made my performance look hollow. Because I'd lost sight of what matters." Her name is Maya, and she didn't deserve it. Nothing I say can undo that harm. I've spent 6 months in intensive therapy learning why, working on my issues with validation and worth. This isn't an excuse, it's context. I've been so consumed by metrics and growth that I forgot how to be a person, how to have real relationships. I'm posting this not because Maya asked. She didn't. We're not in contact. I'm posting because I need to stop performing, even if it costs me everything. To Maya, I'm sorry. Inadequately, incompletely, but genuinely sorry. To everyone else, be careful who you believe online. Be critical of narratives that seem too neat. Ask yourself if you're performing authenticity or being authentic. I didn't know the difference until it destroyed me and someone I cared about. I'm taking an indefinite break after this. I need to figure out who I am without it. Vanessa. Maya stared at the post. Comments poured in. Supportive, angry, intense. She felt complicated, not happy, not vindicated, Just sad. Sad for both of them. Sad for the system that had pitted them against each other. Sad for everyone performing their lives for an audience that would turn on them instantly. She didn't comment, didn't repost, didn't reach out. But she did send a DM. I saw your post. I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope therapy helps. I hope you learn to like yourself without the likes. I still can't be part of your healing journey, but I'm glad you're taking it. Take care, Maya. She closed the app before Vanessa could respond. 1 year later, Maya sat in her new apartment, brighter, with better light for art, editing a video, not for Instagram, for her online course about intuitive art making. Her Instagram was still active, evolved into something different. She posted maybe weekly, sometimes less. Never trending sounds or optimal times. She shared her art, thoughts, occasionally her cat being ridiculous. Her follower count stabilized around 25K, smaller than her pre-betrayal peak, but more real. These were people who genuinely connected with her work, who valued substance over performance. She'd started painting again, really painting. Not for content, but because she needed to. She'd had a small gallery show that sold 3 pieces. She was teaching online workshops, consulting with platforms about healthier community guidelines. She was, against all odds, okay. Better than okay, genuinely, messily, imperfectly happy. Her phone buzzed. Sarah, dinner tonight? Want you to meet someone, another reformed influencer. Maya smiled. Sure, but only if we leave our phones in the car. Deal. See you at 7. Maya closed her laptop and looked around. The ring light sat in the corner, dusty but there. She used it sometimes, when she felt like it, without pressure of algorithms or metrics. Phoenix the succulent, fully recovered and thriving, sat on her windowsill beside 3 new plants. On her wall hung embroidery she'd made. Authenticity is a practice, not a brand. Her phone buzzed, an Instagram notification. Someone commented on her recent post, a photo of her messy studio with the caption, "Where magic and mess coexist." This is the content I needed today. Thank you for keeping it real. Maya smiled but didn't respond immediately. She'd respond later, or tomorrow, or maybe not at all. Because the most authentic thing she'd learned was this. Her worth wasn't determined by engagement rate, follower count, or her ability to perform vulnerability. Her worth was inherent, unperformable, not up for debate. And that truth, uncomfortable and unoptimizable as it was, had set her free. She stood, stretched, walked to her easel where a new canvas waited, not for content, not for validation, just for the pure joy of creating something with her own hands. Outside her window, the world hummed with its usual chaos. But in here, in this quiet space she'd built for herself, Maya was finally, genuinely at peace. The internet could have its performances, its drama, its endless scroll of curated lives. Maya had something better, her own messy, beautiful, authentic truth. And that was enough.